Hello, First Wellness family. I wanted to bring y'all another video this week. This was a kind of an interesting one. I just had to talk to a patient about this one yesterday, and she had a bad experience with a previous chiropractor. and you know, usually you don't hear it, but every now and then you hear about somebody going to a chiropractor, and you know they're worse after the treatment, after the adjustment. Okay. So they were doing bad enough already, and then they get made worse. It's like the patient's worst nightmare. You know, number one, don't touch me. Number two, don't make it worse, especially if it's already that bad. So I think the two key takeaways here are, one is if a bone's out of alignment, okay, and if you take it further out of alignment, it's not going to feel good, okay? It's going to be very painful to do that. And one of the easiest ways to do that is, especially with chiropractors that don't take X-rays. I can look at patients on the table and I can see what I think is where their alignment is and take an X-ray, and the X-ray shows me something different. And so I always default to the X-ray, okay? But you have some chiropractors out there that don't take X-ray for whatever reason, and they can get in trouble because they're not basing their treatment off of something that's very accurate and precise. They're kind of guessing, and sometimes they can get away with that for a long time and it works, but every now and then, guarantee they're going to encounter something where you see something on the table, but it's actually doing something different, but they did take an X-ray, so they don't know. So they can actually make it worse. So you got to be really careful with that, and that's why we're really careful with our X-rays. Some patients are adamant about not taking X-rays. That's fine. You got to go somewhere else, because every now and then the X-ray is going to say, adjust this way and this way only, or don't adjust this thing at all, right? Sometimes you encounter that as well. So it's really important to take those pictures to get a baseline. And also, when we take future film, future X-rays, we have something to compare it to make sure we're going in the right direction, right? So that's always nice to see as well. So one big reason, take the X-ray, you don't want to make them worse by taking the bone the wrong direction, okay? But number two, let's say you've done everything right. You know, you've seen them on the exam table, you go to the X-ray, you dial in their alignment, and you do the adjustment to bring them back into alignment. Sometimes they'll get worse here just because they've been out for so long, and when you take them back in, you're releasing a lot of scar tissue in there, and scar tissue is extremely sensitive tissue. And so we go back in, we do the adjustment back into alignment. Think of the adjustment as just a stretch into alignment. And it's very painful, usually immediately on the adjustment. Then you know you're dealing with a lot of scar tissue, especially if they've been out for a long time. They've either ignored the pain, they either have a high pain threshold, or they've taken medication to treat the pain, right? Well, you end up with a bone that's been out of place for a long time that has a lot of scar tissue around it. So when I go in and try to do my adjustment, boom, it hurts really bad. Okay. There's also a third option I want to mention too. So 1, 2, 3. Third option is we got everything doing good. Table, we got the X-rays, we do good on the adjustment. The adjustment feels great. Okay. 6 hours, 12 hours, 24 hours after the adjustment, the alignment comes back out. Okay. When it comes back out, it can be extremely painful as well. Could even be worse than it was before they came in. Okay. This is what I always like to say. If we do an adjustment and it comes back out, it can be extremely painful. I'd like to tell all my patients this before their first adjustment, okay? If it comes back out and it's painful, that doesn't mean what we did didn't work. It just means it came back out and we got to get it back in. We got to do more to get it back in, okay? The body has a lot of memory, muscle memory, tendon and ligament memory, and even scar tissue memory. So if this thing's been like this for a long time and I try to get it back in, and it can come back out pretty quick. You'll really feel that, okay? So those are the couple scenarios of when you get treatment by a chiropractor and it makes it worse, it makes the pain go higher. Those are the couple reasons why, okay? So just make sure you're going to somebody that does due diligence on where their alignment is, so you can make sure we're going in the right direction. There's also that scar tissue factor. If you're going in there and releasing scar tissue, sometimes that's uncomfortable, but even though it's uncomfortable, you're still better off going into alignment, okay? Even though it's uncomfortable. So I kind of always like to say, you know, when you go to the gym to work out and you're a little sore afterwards, it's good because you know you did something right. Same thing with the adjustment. We know we did something because we're releasing that scar tissue and you're a little sore. And last but not least, if that thing comes flying back out of alignment, ooh, it's going to be really painful. I give my patients my mobile number. call me, let me know what's going on. Sometimes we can just ice it to calm it down. Sometimes I need to get back in there and get another adjustment in there. So a couple different reasons of what can happen post-adjustment that cause that pain to go up. Doesn't mean you're still better off out of alignment. Still got to get back into alignment, but we just got to understand what's causing it. Okay, hope that makes sense. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments below, or text or email me. Let me know there. Other than that, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.